Is Ari McIntyre. Thank you so much for joining me today. This, what is it? May 7th, 2026. Thank you so much for tuning in live to this Manifesting with Ari Mac. I used to have a show on iHeart called Spiritual Coaching with Ari Mac. So if you guys get a chance, take a peek at that because I did that for at least 6 years. Yeah, 6 years on that network, and there's a lot of good nuggets there as well. Well, thank you for joining. And I wanted to talk today about soul shifts and how I see that manifesting. Because I realize that some of you guys, maybe this is the first time you've actually really worked with me, seen me, heard my work. So I wanted to share. I'm a spiritual life coach. I've been doing this for over 16, 17 years. I've studied astrology my whole life. Definitely spiritual. I have background from the Baptist church, all that happy stuff. And I believe astrology, affirmations, and aromatherapy can help give you the keys to unlock your potential. It doesn't go against anybody else's religion. It doesn't cause any friction. And as a matter of fact, it's been around since the dawn of time. There's always opportunities. There's always energies. Hippocrates was an astronomer. That's the guy with the Hippocratic oath comes from him. So I believe that once you learn to tune in to your strengths and make peace with your weaknesses, the world is your oyster. And I think you can do that through spiritual coaching. Not judging, but allowing you to discover all those things that make you the unique blessing that you are. Now, I use astrology because it's got an accurate roadmap. As you can see, we have 12 different signs in the zodiac. We have 10 different planets. It's not a coincidence that when somebody's born, say right now in the Taurus season, happy birthday to all of my Tauruses, and especially my favorite, Miss Lopez. May this year be the best of your life, and I salute you. So with this energy being in Taurus, for example, it is a earth sign. It's a fixed earth sign, which means it makes a decision and follows through. Even if it's to their detriment, sometimes their stubbornness can get them in a whole heap of trouble. But knowing that about themselves gives them an understanding of where they maybe need to monitor that behavior. That's what astrology can give you. Now, affirmations is what you truly feel about self. If you affirm negativity for yourself, if someone gives you a compliment and say, you look pretty today, and you go, no, I don't, that's affirming that you don't look pretty. Do you really believe that? Or is that just some conditioning that you got going on because your first reflex is to denounce, okay, any compliments or goals? That's an affirmation. So learning that will be very important. And then aromatherapy. See, we don't realize how affected we are by aromatherapy on a day-to-day basis. Think about it. When you pass by a restaurant and you smell something, do you not get hungry or curious? Okay? When you are cleaning your house and you know you're hitting those areas and you have to use powerful cleansers, does it not affect your nose because it's not natural, it's chemical? So our sense keeps us moving forward. It keeps us with some basic understanding of what's actually really happening around us. Now, I, as a spiritual life coach, hi, Gemma. Thank you for joining. My job is to help you connect with that, bringing in your faith in what you came down here to do, because everybody has a purpose. Okay? And that's one of the reasons I think souls get so confused, because you may have been reared with the purpose of doing one particular thing, but your soul, your inner self, wants to do something else. That's a big dilemma, you guys, and it can be such a challenge to find your way. But with faith in yourself, faith in what Spirit is giving you, and learning how to use your affirmations. Okay, I'll give you the roadmap. I will give you the clues and the energy that's around you, but you still have free will, so you have to make a choice. Now, this is where coaching comes in. And this is where that soul shift happens. Because once you start tuning into yourself, which is one of my gifts, I help people truly tune in even to that darker side. That stuff that you're not proud of, things that you've done, things you've been exposed to, just shit happens, okay? And you have to deal with it. But you don't have to wear it like a scarlet letter. You don't have to continue to be punished. Forgiving yourself is a huge part of it, and not repeating it is the other part. So when your soul starts shifting into more of what you want, that's when divine design kicks in. Okay? Hi, Leah Nichols. Thanks for joining. Thank you, guys. Where are you guys from? What city you got? I'm having a good day. I'm very tickled to share my information about this show today because we have so many shifts in the universe that I want everybody to be aware that you're not crazy. You're not crazy. Shit is happening. Yes, it doesn't make sense. And yes, some of it is a complete ball face lie. Yes, that is true. But you got to believe in yourself. Hey, Amy, thanks for joining. You got to go in to self and not let your mind, body, and spirit be wrecked by anxiety, fear, doubt. Because you know what those things do? They rob you of time. They rob you of time. And if you don't know how to place your time, because that's your currency, that's your power right there, guys. When you give attention to something that's not bringing you joy or moving you towards your goal or purpose, you're robbing yourself of really unlimited possibilities. And I, as a spiritual coach, just point those out. That's my job. Okay. And I give you guys a lot of opportunity to pick up my information. Thank you. Thank you, Epa. Thank you so much because I know how important it is to have validation. Okay. So I do have free reports at my company, countersbyari.com. I have classes, I do one-on-ones, and I'm going to share some dates with you guys for the future. Now, I'm on the West Coast. I'm in California, US of A. Okay? So everything that I'm doing is right, like, God, you're, oh, thank you, Leah. Thank you. So I do this because I know that hearing something from an outside person that has nothing to do with your day to day is divine design. That's how that works. I can't even tell you how many times coincidences have happened to me that it couldn't be coincidence. It's divine design. It's the universe guiding me on my path to who I am and where I'm supposed to be. And that, my friends, that's what rich looks like, where you're calmly and you are deliberately making choices that's moving you toward where you need to be, not with turmoil, not with fear, not arguing with people and trying to convince other people to come along with you. Hey, if you have a divine purpose and it's something that's boiling inside of you, that's your divine purpose. Not everybody's going to see that or want you to have it. And that is a true statement. And it sucks when it's close family and friends. I know. You so want them to be your cheerleaders, your pep squad, right? Like they're supposed to be the ones that's like rally, rally. And sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're not. And that's something we got to deal with. Now, we have a lot of shifts in the universe happening right now. I'm going to offer as much free information for you and as much insight. But everything that I do, I base on the charts that I've had with my clients over the last 20 years. Because I've seen what I'm saying work with the different zodiac signs. Okay? I've witnessed when somebody has walked into a situation that we talked about and then they have to deal it and they're just like, holy shit, you told me this. Because we have a hard time believing, guys. That's where that active faith comes in. Active faith. Okay. Faith is fine. You can have faith in a lot of things, but when you have to activate it and you have to get in there and prove it, like stand by your principles, not let yourself be bullied and hold on to your faith, man, that's the work right there, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, that's the work. Because that energy doesn't come with a lot of, it brings anxiety. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to step outside your comfort zone. Okay? And fixed signs, that's my Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. You guys have the hardest time because once you decide something, your ass is about it. You just want to do what you want to do. And I get it. I do. But if the universe and the doors are not opening, take the hint. Take the hint. Now we have Pluto, the planet that's behind the scenes. I know they call it a dwarf planet, but it still rules Scorpio. Okay? Scorpio's hidden sex, psychiatry, death, all that good stuff. Well, we have the sun sign, well, the zodiac sign of Aquarius that's going to be sitting there for quite some time. This is a transformation across the board, and every continent and every being on this planet will be affected by. Good or bad, it depends on where your mindset is. It is. If you believe that you're ready to receive, then you will do what you're supposed to allow your goodness to come into your life. You're going to take care of your body. Because let me tell you something, blessings, true blessings, let me just break that down, starts with your being able to get up in the morning and nothing on your body is broken. Let's start there. Okay? Let's start with your being able to eat and nothing's wrong with your digestive system and you have food to eat. All right? And let's not forget shelter. Having a safe place where you can lay your head and you don't have to worry about being victimized or people doing weird things or just being uncomfortable because it's just not your scene. If you have those three things, guys, you're blessed. You're blessed. Now, do you acknowledge those blessings? Because that's the mind shift that I'm talking about. We have to count the simple blessings to get to the bigger blessings. That makes sense? Give me a thumbs up if I'm making sense. Okay? Because if you are praying on change, praying for guidance, and you're getting it, and it usually comes in the form of change. This is why I'm a spiritual life coach. Because you have to remember what you're affirming for and what you're praying for is going to take shifting what is not working away from you. Thank you, Hippocrates. Thank you. Okay? And that's just where we have to do our work, our inner work. Nobody can do that for you. People can try, they can do everything, they support you. I heard this story, and it talks about energy, where it was one of Jackie Bouvier's cousins or something. All supposed to be well-to-do, super, super rich. This lady, her mother was very attached to her. I don't even know all the details, but her mother was extremely attached to her to the point where she wouldn't let her be educated. She wouldn't let her go out into the world. She just wanted to keep her with her all the time. So this lady said okay, and she gave in to taking care of her mother. Now, they just happened to have bought a piece of property in Hamptons that just happened to have turned into a very ritzy part, and it was a very big piece of land. They moved in the place in 1933. Well, in 19, let's say 63, when people went to go visit, because these were socialites, this house was big, they lived like squatters. There was no one to help take care of it. And the reason being, you guys, is because they didn't have the money that they used to have, and they never managed it. And this story was sad because this person, this cousin, had all the potentials and she was beautiful. So she had the suitors, everything. But her mother wouldn't let go of her to let her grow. And eventually she gave in because she loved her mom. She didn't want to hurt her. And they both end up hurting. They end up selling it for taxes. You know how sad that is? That these people had all these opportunities and had a luscious, luscious land, which I'm sure developers definitely went after them. Okay, I'm absolutely positive they had offers. Yet they just never learned that management and eventually lived like paupers, and the tax people take it. See, that's the example when you don't have that faith within. When you're not tuning into what am I supposed to do? What is my purpose? Now, I'm putting together information for you guys. I have an absolutely free report that's a general with some astrology, some affirmations in it to get you started. And it's for the whole month. Now, I also have several programs, okay? And I do one-on-ones. See, once you understand what your chart is, where you come from, your ID, so to speak, because it's like an x-ray, then it goes into your affirmation. And that's where your active faith begins. Okay, that's when you start deciding, what do I really want? How do I really feel? What am I really ready to deal with? Okay, that's when your faith gets started because you're ready to start making some things happen. Okay, then you go into your aromatherapies. Now, aromatherapy is that driving force, like the analogy I used earlier. As you pass by a restaurant, you smell food, you get hungry. Now, if it's a good restaurant, it's going to entice you in with something you want, primarily food. Well, that's what aromatherapy does. It keeps reminding you, okay, of the affirmation that you are seeking. Now, at my company, Candles by Ari, I've taken affirmations and actually put them on the candles. and added the aromatherapy. So here's one fourth, two fourths of 2/3 of the job right here. Aromatherapy, woo, and then an affirmation. This tricks your mind, it kickstarts your mind to opening up because the scent's going to always jar you into thinking. That's a chemical. The affirmation is going to ride that wave of that chemical within you. And that active faith's going to go, okay, how do I do that? How do I allow that to happen? What measures do I need to take? And that's where the coaching should take you. Now, it's not easy. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not, wave your wand and everything just comes together because you didn't come out like that. You're talking about like a barnacles on a ship. You have years and years of stuff that's just built up over a period of time. Okay. And energetically, you probably have just came to accept it because that's just the way it is. And now you're kind of wondering why you're kind of stuck. And I call that being emotionally constipated. Yeah, emotionally constipated. Because when you're emotionally constipated, you really can't make any emotional moves. You really are not too connected. You're not completely connected. You're just kind of in that zone where you're just constipated. And you really can't get out of it, right? Your mind, your body, everything's just kind of monotonous. Maybe you're dealing with the same people who are saying the same negative things to you constantly. Family, friends, acquaintances. I find when you partnered with people who are not dreaming and moving toward their dream, it's pretty hard for them to offer you anything. Yeah. So they can't really see you moving anywhere because they're not moving anywhere. So just for the record, that's a part of the chore is that you do have to consider who you're affirming with, your friends, your acquaintances, your associates, how you live in your life. Okay? So energy, man. That energy affects you. I know you may not care, Francis, but still the energy affects. It affects. Even when we say we don't care, that's the part where I get people to understand you do care. You don't want to, but we're connected. That's why, even though your parents may have been a pill, you still love them on some level and don't want to see harm, even if they did harm to you. I know that sounds, but it's true because there's a chemical within us that responds on that level. And it just is deep. It's really deep. So, and if you know how to cut your emotions off completely, Francis, blessings. I don't know how to do that. And most of the people that work with me, we're wrestling with our emotions because this world makes you very emotional. Now, I do have some classes that are coming up, and these are basically opportunities for you to tune into self, figure out what you're doing on the inside. I would suggest grabbing my free report at candlesbyari.com. Absolutely free is for the month of May. We're also going to have a mindful meditation coming up, and that's where you sit quietly. It's all through Zoom, and you just listen and let yourself go into inward space. I don't think enough people do that, and it's really important for your spiritual well-being. Okay? We also have a astrology class because I know I talk a lot about astrology, but this will be my astrology one-on-one class. And this is going to be 101, excuse me. It's pretty the basics of astrology, the planets, the signs, what they rule, just helping you understand the basis of the characters of when I'm referring to different planets. And a lot of times people discover things they didn't know about their own sign that sometimes leads them to discover things about what they like. And that's going to be, I think, on the 30th of this month. I think it's going to be on the 30th. And that's going to be at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Once again, this is all through Zoom. That's a Saturday. Okay? And as a gift, and this is free for anybody who's listening, next Wednesday, which will be May 13th, I will be hosting a day prayer circle. Okay? And basically, it's your opportunity to sit and just meditate and pray. Like literally give yourself a chance to open up and just be one with where you are at that very, very moment. Because see, energy begots energy, you guys. And it's so important for you to get into a space where you're safe. This mindful, guided, this day prayer circle is my gift to you. You don't have to stay for the full circle. It's only going to be about 20 minutes. You'll have to contact me directly or register at candlesbyari.com. It's absolutely free. But this is your opportunity to give yourself an energetic boost that costs you absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And energy, you guys, we need positive energy down here. So if you're interested, please join me. That will be, like I said, May 13th, which is a Wednesday, and that will be at 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard Time. Okay? Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is my GAP program, my guided astrology program. Now, this is also through Zoom, and it's a weekly, if not twice a week, email that goes out through Zoom for you to get an idea of what's going on in astrology, how you're feeling, and it just gives you affirmation, aromatherapy, and insight. Now, once again, that program is just something to have to keep you going, just for energy and information purposes. Now, that program is normally $29.99 a month, which is absolutely nothing. That's less than $10 a week. And I'm offering as an intro right now for $9.99. Now, here's the thing. When you become a part of the GAP family, you also get gifts like to go to the Astrology 101 Basic for free. And actually, you can also be eligible for a copy of it if you actually miss the class, because I don't think I'm going to do a lot of notes. Everything's going to be Zoomed. So basically, you get a lot of bang for your buck for getting information that you need, that you're asking for, that you're looking for. But you have to initiate. Yeah, you have to connect. You have to reach out. And even when you get the information, you have to read it and reread it and think about what you're affirming to. Right? Just think about what scents trigger you. I had this client once that didn't realize that there was a certain cologne, I think it's called Fahrenheit, that she was repulsed by. Like it just repulsed her. And, she really didn't have any reason to not like it. Well, it turns out when she was a little girl, her uncle used to wear that. And he was a horrible person, like just mean as the dickens, in her opinion, for as a little person. So every time she smelled that and he did something mean, the smell reinforced negativity. So that smell in her mind is associated with negativity. That's how deep smell can go for you. So once you start getting into that, once you start owning that, like how are these smells affecting me? What is my favorite scent? What does help me relax? These questions will lead you to feel a lot better if you happen to be around stuff that just, like I am not fond of the smell of bullshit. I'm actually allergic to bullshit. It smells like shit. And that's fine. I just don't want to smell it or pay for it or have to deal with it for too long. You feel me? If you're feeling me, give me a thumbs up. Because we got some seriously, mentally not so good people in this world. And you have to use your intuition and your discernment to figure out how the best way is for you to deal with them. That's where coaching comes in for your spiritual well-being. Because maybe you don't know and you're just an open page trying to always be the best person you can be, and it's driving you crazy and you're physically ill. Haven't you noticed that after a while being around certain people, you develop some sort of physical challenge? Like you get a headache, your stomach starts hurting, you get diarrhea. I mean, guys, it's because they're foul. Their energy's fucked up. Your body's telling you that. They may not be being mean to you at that moment because you have no proof, but there's something about them that's foul and your body is picking up on that energy, but we choose to ignore it. Good people have been taught, well, let's just try to be the better person. And I'm not saying you should be evil, but you should listen to your body. Yeah. So you don't enter into a long term contract. And that's what I'm talking about. Your soul shifting. It's not about you being mean and ugly. It's about you being like better caring of yourself. You should never sacrifice your mental, spiritual well being for anyone. Because anyone that's with you, they should love you. And you guys should be in some sort of like harnessing type of way. So you have to go within. You have to deal with self. And that's, everybody has to do it. Sorry. That's a part of your soul's journey. But when you find your purpose, when you find that lane that you own, I'm going to tell you something. No one can take that away from you. It don't matter what they say, how they act. There's something inside of you that just does not give a fuck about what they say. You just don't. You'll be upset for a minute, then you realize, oh, they don't pay me, they don't help me, and they're not contributing in any way, shape, or form in a positive way. They have no opinion in my jurisdiction. The things I have to do for my well being, because they're not taking yours into consideration. Now, this Pluto Aquarius thing is deep. I'm personally seeing all kinds of good stuff. My Mercury is in Aquarius. So I am watching the transformation, even in the data that's coming down. Okay? So it's just important for you to pay attention. It's basically igniting your spidey senses, just really listening to your nervous system and really picking up on things when they're happening around you so that you don't get in trouble. Okay? I have a friend, and she put this up on her Facebook page. She was traveling, and she was in France this last week. And she got in super, super late because she left New York, and it was crazy. I guess there at night, there's less and less taxi cab drivers. Anyway, she was looking for a taxi cab driver. She had to get a couple more pieces of luggage. And so this one guy came out of nowhere, got out of his car, and said, "Let me help you." And he did. Took her bags, got bags for her, and then said, "Hey, why don't I take you to wherever you got to go?" And she said, "Cool." Now, she assumed that his car was close by. That's it, taxi cab maybe across the way. He went a little further than normal, and she was starting to look around, and the police came. The airport police drove by. He dropped all her bags and he ran, which was an indication that he was up to no good. And they warned her that at night, a lot of these guys look like normal people and they act like they're there to help. But you don't know where the cars are. I mean, you don't know the system at night because it's less people. And be careful. And she was like blown away. She could have been killed, you guys. And she said, "Thank you, sweet spirit. I'm blessed." And she is. But she is a blessed lady. She does a lot of things for communities. She's very active with her children. She's got a beautiful husband. I mean, she's putting the time in creating the world that she wants. And she's a hell of a producer. You're going to see her movies in the future. But see, it took her time to own that power. It took her time to get that comfortable in her own skin. And now she's owning it. So spirit watched over her even without her knowing it. And that's when you know the universe is with you guys. Because things just come your way naturally because that's the direction you're going in. Let me know in the chat, thumbs up, even if you see this on a rebroadcast, if that's making sense to you. Because it's something about when you accept what you're good at, would you accept what you're peaceful at? It's just acceptance of self. I mean, hey, it is what it is. This is what you came down with. And really beautifying up what you have. Astrology can help you do that. Affirming will help you do that. Learning how to use your aromatherapy will definitely set you on the path of triggering yourself on purpose. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. So, this energy is available. I do this once a week. I come on here once a week and I do my dailies, and I'm going to be adding more texture. It's just, I like to make sure for me things are balanced. I'm not going to put up or put out something that I don't doesn't represent, where I'm at, because I don't want to misrepresent. Right? I want to be who I am and I want to be authentic. So I'm not a professional filmer, but I am a lot more comfortable, and I think we're going to be getting new equipment and stuff. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. But I'm learning. I'm still learning, you guys. I am a work in progress, and I always remember that. So I don't come down too hard when I think I should be doing certain things, because maybe I should, but I'm not. So I have to own it. And that's always a booger bear because it takes me a minute. But what I've come to understand about myself is I got to get emotionally connected to what I got to get done. I'm not one of those people that can read something and immediately go do something. If I'm already reading the subject, cool, fine, and great. Because like with astrology, that's I do it every day. I look at charts, read charts, look at stuff, meditate. That's to me it's like calculations. But my father was an aerospace engineer. So he taught me numbers and he taught me music. So for me, it just made sense because he said numbers, they don't lie. And energy, when you calculate with numbers, just it falls into place. But that's my harmony. So sometimes the energy's not moving toward me. Like I want to go do that. And I'll look and yeah, I'll have a little square or something and say, yeah, go take your ass in there and do something else. Okay? I'm glad, Ann. I'm glad. Because I mean, we need each other, to be honest with you, if we're going to make this work. Okay, and that's respecting differences because I don't believe differences always have to go into ugly. I really don't. If you have serious, you may need therapy and some legal shit. So y'all have a clear understanding of what y'all shouldn't do. But in general, if somebody says no, no means no. If somebody's continuing to do something that's against you, you need to work on either getting away from them or figuring out how to make that a better situation. You know what I mean? You can't keep being in the same position. And even when people try to slow you down, which they do, consciously or not, you got to understand that's just them being them. That's just being who they are. Now you got to decide how to deal with that. But the more you make a decision, the less victimized, the more progress you're going to make. Yeah, because you're not just staying in anger, you're getting into resolution. You're looking at resolution. How can I improve this? How can I work with this? What can I do to keep myself from catching a case because of this? Because you do have control. To a certain degree, you do. And it may be just smiling and keeping a good attitude. That's control. Because I'm going to give you a basic. And if you guys can remember this, no matter what, breathe. Just breathe. One more deep, beautiful, just a deep breath. Just breathe. Sometimes all you got. I know there's assholes out there. I know there's assholes. Okay? And energy from that, you got to say, hey, it's not my place to try to stop you, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let you, run my rodeo. Because that's fair, like keep that to yourself. And, put those boundaries up because I think that is healthy. Okay, I don't think you should, be completely victimized because somebody else is also in a bad space. You didn't put them in that space. So, but that's, once again, when you're in a healthier place, you're going to make a better choice for you. For you. And sometimes, guys, the choice could mean, I will not be doing this shit again. Mm-hmm. Are you guys getting enough water? You get enough water? I forgot to wash my water bottle out. I don't know. I had tea in it or something. It tasted funky. So I got to really get in there. So I had to go back to water bottles, which I was doing so well without. But in crises, So here's what I want you to do. When that stress and that stuff starts tip-tapping on you, take a deep breath. If you can't go to the restroom, nobody can ever say anything about having to go to the restroom. It's a mandatory thing, part of being a human being. And take a deep breath. Just get away from it, check out, and say something nice to yourself. I'm going to be okay. This too shall pass. A couple of more hours and I'll be in my own element. Whatever you got to say to get you through it, that's what I need you to do. Because you can't let yourself lose it, especially when you know you still need it. Be it a job, dealing with relations, family, whatever. You do have to pace yourself because just because somebody else is throwing you doo doo doesn't mean you have to take this shit, especially internal. Let me tell you one of the best thing, a lot of things. My grandma gave me some advice. I was probably like, I don't know, 8 years old. I never forgot it. She told me, don't ever argue with the jackass. And I said, why? Just because a jackass is never going to let you win. No matter how much you try, no matter how much you put effort, no matter the work that you think that you guys are doing together. If a true jackass does not want to see any of it, then you're not giving it to someone that's going to grow with you. And I was like, damn, grow with me. And she just said, y'all play together. And as y'all grow together, everything is harmonious. And she meant that. Now, that doesn't mean it's perfect. It just means you grow together, you stay interested in one another. It's like friends and family. It does take effort. Family functions are important. Checking in on each other is necessary. You know, all these things layer out relations and networks, guys. So, one of the things I want to do is create a heavenly network with positive people sending each other positive vibrational energy, man, on a daily basis because we need it. We need it. Okay, so if that sounds like something you down with, you're interested with, like, follow, share, subscribe, become a part of the family. Okay, because energy, we need as much as positive energy as we can get. And one of the things I try, and one of my goal is to be that positive light to bring a smile to someone's face. Now, if they don't want to smile, God bless them, they don't have to smile. But God dang it, I know I'm sending you love. And that's the premise. That's the goal. And with that, growth, opportunity, excitement, faith. If we all gave a man with no clothes a thread, we can give him a shirt. If we all help one another learn how to fish, not in competition, but as a community, we would never ever have hunger. But these things sound simple, but can be misled and go off the register, go off the reservation without continuous guidance and insight. And that's where continuous growth comes from, guys. That tuning in, doing your research, checking in to see if something's going in the direction that you want. Who knows? Whatever deems important to you, protect it. Take care of it. Treat it like it's something special. Now, with this Pluto Scorpio configuration, it's deep. And Uranus is sitting in Aquarius. Like I said, follow like, and these terms will become more clear. But with Uranus sitting in Gemini, that's powerful communications getting pushed up by that Pluto Aquarius connection. So we're deeper than we think. We really, really, really are. And our differences, I think, can come to some balanced resolutions. But you got to start with you. Before you can do anything for anybody else, you got to be okay with what's going on inside. So tune in, like, follow. I'm on all the social medias under Spiritual Coach Ari Mac or Candles by Ari. And check out the candles because, like I said, these were designed specifically for my clients. When I started doing this, I was doing it as a hobby and fun. And because of my palette of scents, we just put together blends that they stir positive feelings, in my opinion. And when you say the affirmations, it just brings it all together just to lift up your spirit. And I see it happening. And that's why affirmations and aromatherapy is so positive, because you're affirming for what you believe in to transfer your life in the direction you want to go in. So don't forget to like, follow, share, join the family, grab the report. I'm probably going to be live on probably TikTok, because that's the only one I'm having fun with. IG, I have to get to 1,000 before I can go live there, so I'm working on it, but I'm just having fun. This is a labor of love. You know, I'm not trying to stress myself. I enjoy you guys, and I want us all to be blessed, highly favored, and delivered into whatever it is you're asking for under grace in a perfect way. And so it is. So don't forget to like, follow, and share, and save the dates for the Wednesday, the free day prayer circle. You can register at candlesbyari.com. Okay. Also, we got the Astrology 101 class coming up on the 30th. So let me know if you want to be a part of that. Okay. That's also Encounters by Ari. And, don't forget to check out the GAP, the Guided Astrology Program. And just remember, you guys, you are blessed. All right. I'll see you next week. Like, follow, share. Bye. And subscribe. Bye. No, I don't do cards. Can you do my card? Hit me, Anna, and we'll talk offline. Okay? Stay blessed. Bye.